Hey y'all, I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Alyssa.
And we're back at you with another episode with your buttons babe. And we gon' push to start. And Mama, you got something for us?
So this week, my push to start is kind of like simple, but like reconnecting with people. Like, we've talked about it in previous episodes. Obviously, the panini has been really hard, and
it's still going strong.
I mean, it's still not that it's not hard.
I know we're coming out of it. Anyway, sorry.
But
yes.
like I feel like this year I have like actually thought out a little bit of the hibernation, or like I feel more alive. I'm feeling more alive, and like I have recently been like chatting with like just people, friends that I haven't in a long time, and like been able to like reconnect with them. And so that's just been like, I've been riding that high of like, oh, I'm friends with this person for a reason, you know, like other than like we maybe like have worked together, we go to yoga together, we like grew up together. Being able to like just have a conversation with them, checking in. One of my friends, like she's preggo, and that's been kind of hard.
No, everyone is. If y'all didn't hear this episode, everybody's out here popping out babies. And my clock is
that
like,
was
yo,
not
bitch.
in her life plan.
Yeah,
but so.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So just like being able to reconnect and like, hey, it's probably hard, but like, you know, let's keep. I'm here. Like I'm here to support.
I am a person in your life
in this like scary journey that you're on that you didn't plan to be on. And like another friend, her parents were in town, and it was just like, I was like, you know what? I forgot how much fun we have together, and I loved meeting her parents to be like, thanks for, you know, giving me my friend.
Yes.
You know, like I see where she became who she is in the positive ways because of you. Like, you know, so that was like super fun. And a couple other people that I've like scheduled. I'm now a calendar bitch, and I legit have to put in like call so and so at whatever for X amount of time, that like, because otherwise
it doesn't happen.
Yeah,
yo, friendships
So it's been a super good week of like staying accountable and checking in on people, or having people check in on me, and like just
that's been happening. Like same. Like that has been happening.
Shout out to my friends. Thanks for being my friends, and it's been great to catch up with those of you who I have, and I'm excited to catch up with more of you.
Yes, like that reconnecting element, I think, is also in the air as we are trying to come out of the panini.
I mean, it's
like
springtime really has like sprung for me.
People, yes, coming out of the hibernation, all of the things, and feeling all of the ways about it. My push to start, I'm actually stealing this from Melissa. We were in the car the other day, and she brought up that her and Bele are going to do their taxes together. And I was like, come on, what? I was like, what? Listen, you're like, yeah. He's like, yeah, Billy asked if we wanted to do our taxes together. And I was like, yo, am I getting old, or is that like, is it weird that that's kind of hot? Like, I was like, what? Okay, let's do adult things together and get things done. And when we get frustrated, bang it out and take a break and then come back. I was like, oh, wow, it is a thing. Yes, it is.
It's a big step.
Yes, to adulting and the relationship growing. And
I'm usually a like day before they're due kind of person. I have all my things together. I just like, I don't want to do them. But yeah, it was a very like, we're doing this.
We gonna put some music on.
Okay.
Right?
What outfit should I wear?
The thing is, as soon as you said that, Mama, I had your whole day, your date to do your taxes mapped out in my motherfucking brain.
You're like, all right, I know when to be where, when to come home, when not to come home.
No, that too, but then also, but like vicariously living through you, I was like, oh, they're gonna get all their information out and sit down. They're gonna put on some music, maybe
hit the candle,
right,
like,
hit the bowl,
yes.
Like pour a glass of wine, have snacks. I was like,
we can only do this if we get pastries, so we fucking get pastries.
Like, I was like, oh, I hope this is how it's gonna be. And I'm over here in my brain eating my popcorn to your tax date. That is the journey I went on as I was pushing this button. I was like, that's interesting. That's hot. I'm kind of old, but I dig it. Like, yes, let's do our motherfucking taxes. Like, and it also speaks to like finding ways to make things you don't want to do or dumb shit more fun, or like to turn it on its head a little bit and be like, you know what? I have an idea, and I'm down with that idea. So that was my odd.
Shout out to the tax couples.
Yo, right? And to
shout out to doing things with your partner that suck, and shout out to the partners who
make it not suck.
make it not suck.
Or find a way to like make the sucking good.
Yeah, good
yes,
sucking.
Yes. Yes. Mama, what we got? Let's head into
All right,
our
time
button
for
of the week.
The button of the week. All right, so this week, the button that I have just chosen that kind of rolls right into taxes is how to support your partner and also how to ask for support. This all recently came about in my life, which is why I was like, well,
You're like, I need to work on this.
I
or what do I
assume this is a thing for other people, or I'm just trying to fucking
get it out
Get
there
it out.
and figure it out together.
Yeah.
We're here together.
So kind of like taxes.
Right?
My partner and I have been, we were definitely in a place of like, just kind of comfort and rolling with things. And in this like spring awakening that I'm having, and my partner's also kind of having, I believe, like things are coming up that are like colliding in our relationship and in our lives together. And a lot of things have not gone according to the plan that we had planned.
But it's okay. We pivot, but
So, like,
that's also like a layer of growth, like because shit's uncomfortable.
We in a growth pivot, and we have both had to have moments of like asking for help or saying this is what I need. And I realized that I did not grow up in a space that was genuinely, what do you want? What do you need?
How can I facilitate?
Yeah, it was, and I may or may not be alone here, but like it was, what do you want? It was kind of like a sarcastic or like this is not the fucking time. A rhetorical thing. You know?
I see.
And I feel like that sounds a lot worse than how I grew up. But
it is.
But
It's
like,
a part of it.
Yeah. And in relationships, this specific relationship, early in, my partner has asked me, what do I want for layers of things: food, sex, drinks, the outfit that I requested them to grab, varying things.
Yes.
And like
Okay.
sometimes I'm like, yeah, I want this, I want this. But also I'm noticing there are a lot of things that I don't know what I want.
Oh, that's a good.
And
That
I
shit
have
just
had to sit in moments of like, okay, I know that I do not want X, Y, and Z, but like I have
There's all
23 other letters to choose from of like possibilities that I want, and I don't know all of them maybe. Like,
Right.
shit, okay. And
Give me a minute. I'm not sure.
yeah. And so my partner
help me
has
figure out.
has along our relationship helped me figure out some things that I do want, helped me cross off a couple more, yeah, I don't want this kind of thing. But like more recently I've had to say like, hey, like I'm struggling. I don't know specifically what that is, but like, can you help me if you see what I'm not seeing, can you help me? And also in areas that I'm like, I actually need help here, can you help me with this? Like, so there's been a lot of really uncomfortable, like those kind of conversations that you're like, okay, I need a minute to like swallow whatever fucking saliva bubble is here that is like, I'm trying not to,
This might not come out the right way.
Let me trip over my words a little bit because like I've never said this out loud or I've never asked for this. I just came to this conclusion.
Even just asking for the help for some people is the hardest.
It's very
fucking
hard
thing.
It's
Speaking from, sorry to cut you off, Mama, but like as someone who has been so independent her whole life and used to being who helps others.
Your own provider and also the provider of others.
Right? Sometimes I will burn it down. I will bite my tongue and think that people are mind readers and until like I can't anymore is something that I have done. But like anyway, long story short, yes, asking for what you want, especially in people who are the helpers all of the time, y'all, it's hard. So those who have partners or friends or whoever, like those people in your life, like
The person who bends over backwards
Yes.
for like absolutely everyone.
give them some
them grace
space
and grace.
space, because shit is hard. And so when they tell you specifically, anyway, you have been asking and have found, like, sometimes we don't know what we want or we need.
And I mean, yeah, I've also asked and been given the like, I don't know exactly. And I'm also at that time trying to like give the space and be like, okay, me continuing to babble on about this thing is not helping. Like, okay, how do I help
In a way that is actually helpful, not
Productive.
and not what I think is helpful. And also like finding the space to navigate that with the partners and the friends that are in your life, because like not just partners, like this goes in friendships too, because a lot of it I've learned is trial and error sometimes in terms of figuring out what you want or also communicating what you want. And it's also trial and error for your partner to pick that up, like, in terms of like, I'm trying. Like, I understand that this
Yeah.
is what you asked for, this is what you need, and this is how you're asking, but can we try a different way?
like I'm out of practice, or like this is foreign to me, or like this is backwards even. Sometimes I think there are things that like I look back and I'm like, oh, okay, I could have handled that differently, or I could have articulated or like tried to find an example to pivot that, to avoid, how it resulted, or like to allow something to happen. I think with partner, it's like how to ask for help with work sometimes is like, for me, like currently my partner cannot help me with my work.
Right.
But like he can offer opinions on like
what
I'm struggling with,
right,
or
right.
potential solutions, or he can also just listen. And sometimes I've had to be like, I just need you to fucking listen because I need to get this out. And I had to at some point say like, I don't need you to fix it. I just need you to listen. I need you to listen and let me get this toxic feeling,
get it
or
out.
this anger, or this unhappiness, this uneasiness, this frustration, like out of me. And then that's it. And then it's your turn. Like, you want a bitch? Great. Do you want a solution? And I have come to the point of sometimes like when my partner is like kind of going down a lane, I'm like, okay, do you want a solution? Am I listening?
What do you need
Like,
from
what
me
do
in
you
this
need
moment
from
for
me?
this thing?
I used to feel
you're
like
in
I
my
should
brain.
know, before I started asking regularly, I was like, I should know this. I'm a bad girlfriend for not knowing what they need, and I sometimes a masculine characteristic that I have is like, for many people, is how to fix. How can I help you?
Oh,
because
like
of-
your masculine energy in you. You're like, I want to solve this problem
Yeah,
for you.
I want to
without
help you.
asking
I
if
want
you
to
need
be
me
able to do this, because
Yes.
one of my love languages is like having something done that I don't have to ask for, which I feel like actually that's not a love language. I don't know. That's like psychotic.
Pause. Yes, it is, because it's an
Is it?
act.
Okay, good.
It's an act of
Yes,
service.
actually, yes, acts of service is a thing for
Because-
me. So that's what I'm like. How can I serve it? How can I help you? And I realized also that like I don't always want that. So I am like, instead of putting my foot in my mouth and like dragging my fucking face on the floor, I'm just gonna ask.
Right.
And it has helped me to understand my partner, to be able to like sometimes do the like 2 steps ahead that I see this is coming. Mm-hmm. Not every time.
Because we all don't like receive love or help, because love is a form of help. Help is y'all know what I'm trying
But
to
like
say.
it's in there, but it's not, because sometimes
Right.
I'm absolutely like, let me fucking do it myself.
I don't
want to
need
do
your
it.
help.
I just need to be like, whatever. Why? I don't know.
And so we don't all receive it the same way for everything. Sometimes yes, that's spot on. Sometimes no, I don't need someone to fix it. I just need someone to listen. And what you said just a moment ago in terms of asking what they need up front, whether you need me to listen, do you need a solution, do you just need a warm body here, like me say nothing, like what where we
Do you want
at?
me to ignore you? Like,
What's your level of frustration here? Like, what are we doing? And it goes both ways. They can either ask or you can tell them. And I mean, sometimes it doesn't happen.
And that's, I mean, yes, it is not
we're
like,
not-
definitely I have leaps and bounds to
trial
like,
and error.
yes, I'm pancaking every day of my life.
It is normal.
Seems like.
We are not robots. We cannot always the same, like, okay, this is the input, here's the output. No, like the input is going to be different. So sometimes the output is different in dealing with people and things and partners. And so that asking part and also being aware and telling and being aware when you don't know, like that's okay too.
That is still the hardest part is when I'm like, I don't know, like sometimes I'm just fucking mad. I don't know. It's I don't have my fucking period, so don't ask me about that. I did eat a fucking Snickers, so do
I'm
not
not
fucking
hungry.
hand me food. Like, I don't know, the weather's nice. I like my mascara is good today. No, I don't know why I'm still fucking, there are just those days that I'm like, I don't know, like
Haven't put my finger on it yet.
something happened to me so I can feel justified about being angry. Like there are definitely those moments. And like, God bless him for like shutting up and just like leaving me to be an angry cloud. But like, I think with friendships, that's also like, we have a very, I'm going to tell you what I need. You tell me what you need. We can kind of foresee those things. And like, that's a friendship thing that like not everyone has. Not every single one of my friendships are this level that like, I can do that. And sometimes I do have to ask like questions or like rehash things in a relationship with someone. And it's also like, it can be hard to ask for your friend for help for certain, depending on what the thing is.
It's a process. I love, and I think I've only gotten back to you with one of these things. When you asked me, I mean, we're friends, but we're also business partners and roommates and just all of the things. We're fucking amazing. But Alyssa realized at one point that a bitch is drowning, and she was like, okay, what can I do? What are 3 things that I can take off your plate?
Smart goals, achievable goals.
Yes. What are 3 things that you like? And we talked it out together, but what are those 3 things that I can help with so that you can focus on, other things, or you can feel less drowned and all of that. And I was like, oh, I know one. Like, and then I was like, oh, let me get back to you on the other 2. And sometimes it, like, even in a relationship, yes, it can be like, I don't know and I'm trying to figure it out. It's not that I don't appreciate the asking. It's not that I don't need it. Like
delegating and like kind of siphoning off is also like effort has to be put into that.
Oh, it takes time because you might be able to pick up on, I'm a little bit of a control freak and a recovering perfectionist. So sometimes it is, and I have communicated that as well. Like, it's a little hard for me, but I know I can't do it alone.
When you're a little bit more self-reliant and you did have to be a little bit more of a self-starter and are also independent. Yes. Control freak is kind of, there are things that I'm very capable of letting other people do. And I'm like, no, just let me fucking do it. Just never mind. I'll fucking do it. Yeah.
Don't take it any type of personal way.
This is about me. It's literally not about you. It's me.
Yes. So it goes in that direction too, y'all. And I just, being able, like, our level of where we are in our friendship and our business partnership is so, it's so nice to be able to do that. And then there are some times where it's like, we just know, like, oh, Mama's stomping around. I'm just going to let her stomp around.
My Saturday morning cleaning, I'm going to blast fucking cumbias or metal and just be fucking mad that cats poop and that I have to clean because why is there dirt here?
Like, and the bitch is going to be out of the way. That is.
I'm going to vacuum and then eventually we'll look beautiful and I'll be like, fine, I'm in a great mood. Everything looks nice.
That's my lane. And sometimes, like, I like get in there when I know she's gone and I'm gonna clean the stove because she's gonna come home and she's gonna love that shit. Like, and that is what I can do.
That was a glorious moment. I saw the stove and I was like, I'm so happy. I'm so, like, it's been a long trip, but I'm so happy. Yeah, it's
Sometimes those things, like, they hit, and they're not gonna hit all the time, y'all. Something that I'm learning in some of the relationships in my life, that sometimes, like, you gonna miss the mark, and you did something someone didn't ask for, or someone needs something and they're communicating. Oh, this is a great one. Sorry, y'all. I just had this light bulb moment. Someone needs something, and the way in which they're communicating isn't like transferring, or it isn't in a way, it isn't transferring. And that other, like, in me, like, I'm learning, like, not receiving it that way. The way that one of
Telephone.
Telephone. One of the relationships in my life, something that they need is words of affirmation, like, to feel appreciated, to feel gratitude for the things that they are doing for me, and it isn't happening. And I'm like, oh, but it is, but not in that moment that they
Not
need
the way
it.
they see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so being able to find a way to communicate it to where I don't feel attacked, or like, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I am doing this. I'm not crazy. I know I am saying thank you. I know that I am saying that, I appreciate you. I know, because if I, like, anyway, and if I'm not, then that's a different conversation. But I know that I am.
Yeah.
And so instead of the way that it was being received or sent was through hints, or like other ways that just don't feel good to me, and therefore cause friction and, like, conflict. And so we finally, like, we hashed a part of it out, and was like, yo, if that, like, I understand you feel you are communicating that this is what you need by dropping a hint, but instead, why don't you just tell me you need words of affirmation, or you need to feel appreciated, because it feels like I feel attacked. I know it is not your intention to attack me and you tell me that I'm ungrateful, or that I am, like, all of these things underneath, but instead, like, communicate, I need this thing, I need these words of affirmation, because in this moment, I don't feel appreciated. And it's like, oh.
Hints are very hard. I think that's a common thing that we hear about, like, women dropping hints, right? All the time. Women dropping hints, like, oh, I hinted I wanted this diamond ring. How did you hint? I sent the diamond ring. Okay.
Right?
So, like, then just say, this is the ring that I want. That, like,
at some point. Yes.
It's being clear, right?
Yes.
Because
versus,
and I know that I'm guilty of hinting at certain things, but I think hinting seems almost like it's coming from the Midwest, the passive aggressive.
I was like, there's a layer, and it's there,
and that's like that's my experience with hints, is that it's like your mom hints to your dad about something and it ends up nagging, and then it's like and this is me, this is my life, but like,
I feel like it's some other people's lives
too. Then it, like, blows up, and it's a thing, and we're all like, if you
just tell me what you need, tell me what you want,
and
use your words,
and
say it with your chest,
and that's,
be
like,
direct.
It goes back to never, like, being genuinely asked, what do you want, what do you need? So, like, hints are hard for me, because it's like, hints, in my mind, what I'm thinking the hint is could be very wrong.
Right.
And then I'm like, well, fuck us, because how did we end up here? And
because we all have expectations. And so by dropping the hint, you have an expectation of how the hint is going to be received. And if it's not received the way that you want it to be received, it could go bad really quick.
It's like a slip of, like, and this is where I'm like, copy paste. If you want something, don't tell me, because somewhere it's gonna get discombobulated, and I'm gonna think you said what you didn't say. I'm like, I have to, like, see it with my fucking eyeballs to, like, grasp it most of the time.
Yo, because then there are feelings
my brain dyslexia will twist not only words and letters, but
we will get it twisted. Like, we will all, not just men, women, others, like, we can all get it twisted. And so, but again, sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss.
And that's,
so,
I mean, also, yeah, like, we're gonna fuck up. Like,
Yes.
we're all gonna think that we did the right thing, and actually, like, maybe it wasn't wrong, but it wasn't, like, yeah, that's, I feel like that kind of, my final segue of how to support people or ask for support is in the bedroom during sexy time.
Yes,
because
that's a good area too. It's a great area. Anyway,
that will also be like its own larger, deeper button conversation. Very deep, but
such a fucking child. But you're here,
you know,
you're here with us.
from one partner to the other, like, things can be very different. The same motion can have a very different effect. But also, like, as we continue to learn about ourselves and the persons that we are sleeping with, like, things change. Things that I'm into now, I wasn't into before. Things that I was into before, I'm not into now.
Right?
So, like, when that shifts, instead of, like, being like, wow, it was just so bad because it wasn't what I
but you
needed.
also,
but, like, did I communicate
right?
that?
Did you
say
ask for what you
move,
want?
or tilt, or more, or less, or, like, no, if I didn't do that, then I can't be upset that it went
didn't.
the way that it went.
Right.
And
Open your
same
mouth
for, like,
in other ways. Yes.
or close it. I mean,
right,
twist
yes.
it. So I don't know. Like, yeah. But I feel like I have become a little bit more vocal in my sex life of, like, yeah, things are a little bit different now, and we got to go this way, or we got to do this, or I need this actually.
I want to try
instead.
that.
Yeah,
Yep.
or, like, even I want to try things, and I'm like, hey, I'm not ready for this now, but, like, I would like to do this. I'm curious about that. How do you feel about that? Like, are you comfortable? And that's
Always
hard
difficult
in like general
because
to do,
especially like if you're in the heat and the moment of things. Like lately, for some reason, like y'all all know, like a bitch likes her mouth to be spitting, and lately I'm like, nah, just don't. But I don't think I've actually, like, until this moment, I don't think I've said those words out of my mouth. I've just, like, moved, or, like, I felt it coming, and I'm
that's
like,
the thing, we, like, don't say it,
right?
and it's sometimes, like, you don't realize,
right? I'm like, but right now I'm like, oh, that's pivoted. Like, but I know, like, if it's interesting, I know that if I want it in that moment, I'll say it. But if I don't want it for some reason, I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
so
there's a lot of things.
I'm like,
I don't want them until I want them, and I'm like,
right?
fucking do it now.
And so, I feel that things are shifting in a way, and so sometimes, like, if I haven't said it and it happens, I'm like, that just fucked up my whole game. Like, it just, and you're somewhere out, like, you're sexually somewhere else, and you're trying to get back onto where you were
Onto
in the
sexy
moment.
train.
Yes.
And so I've noticed that right now, when I realize, whatever, if I'm, like, not prepared, or, like, I don't have it in me in that moment to be like, here's why, then what I am trying to work on currently is, like, how to bring that up later without coming across like, you did this thing, or you didn't do,
right.
You know what I mean? Because I also, like, it's not exactly the best feeling when someone is like, hey, so, like, this thing that you did, don't do it
like,
anymore. Actually, you didn't do this thing that I asked you to do this, and you did, but you still didn't, it wasn't what I, it's not what
exactly
I wanted.
what I wanted. Yep.
And like, we've talked about this in a couple, probably many episodes, but kind of still there's this, like, if it's not working sexually, it's easy to take that personally, and it's my body, it's my angle, it's my fault somehow,
and it becomes an insecurity.
Yeah, and to avoid that, like, I'm, like, trying to determine of, like, the best times to bring that up. Is it right after?
Is it
sometimes
during?
Yes, sometimes
not
no,
during.
absolutely not. It, like, a day. I mean, sometimes that's helped, and sometimes it's backfired, and it's more of, like, hey, like, I'm learning, or I'm just, things are changing for me, and I wanted to communicate this. Like, I want to be clear that this is not a reflection of you, it's me, and how I'm discovering things.
That shit sounds so clinical.
It does,
but yes,
but, like,
but
also,
yes. It's necessary.
I haven't found a better phrasing. So also, like, if you've had this conversation with a partner, how do you phrase it or how has it maybe been phrased to you that you didn't take it personally, that it didn't make you feel bad, I guess, because
I have a great, sorry. This is,
yeah, that's, I mean, I feel like I can
wasn't-
communicate with work, I communicate with my family and my friends, but sometimes still in moments of like, like,
I got excited. I get really excited because I'm remembering a time, one of my partners in the sexual experience that I was having at the moment, we were done with all of the sexy time, laying there, it's great, came up, like, anyway, just laying in bliss. And
basking.
They asked me, like, yo, did you, or do you like it when I do this, when I go down on you, or like when I'm using, like, and I was like, I don't mind it. It's okay. It's like, is there a different motion? And I can't remember if it was like the suction or like the tip. It was the tip of the tongue on the clit is what it was. And I'm like, sometimes, and the suction. Anyway, I'm like, sometimes she needs air. Like, I need you to
need to breathe.
Yeah, I need you to let go. And that's when I'm moving your head up and like, or I move my hips back. Like, that is me verbal, like, I'm cueing you with my body. And so then, though, we proceeded to like get technical with it in terms of like testing it out again and actually going through the motions. So they went right back down on me and like we talked through it and bitch, that shit, like, I was like, oh, thank you, number 3. It like, and so
that's, I mean,
great
a fun way
way
to do it. It sounds like, obviously.
figuring out or like changing things up, like, or do you like it when I do this? And it could be done in the reverse by like, hey, last time we did this, can I show you something, or can we try something, or like,
I mean, can we try? That's a great way to.
right, can we try, or can I show you something? And I've learned, I mean, sometimes you don't have to drop down into the sexy voice and do the thing, and
But sometimes the sexy voice helps.
Yep, it helps, and it takes the edge off of it, and like, you get right back into sexy time. Is something that I'm realizing in this moment. I was like, oh, me, call on me, because I have a great example.
Yes, that's a great example.
Of how to navigate it without it feeling
so clinical.
Right, so clinical, or even not judgment, like feeling like an attack or any type of.
And that's exactly, like, attacking is I think it's so easy to interpret a negative sexual experience as attacking somehow. Y'all know I'm struggling with my word choice here.
Those buzzwords.
But
to take it personally.
Yes, take it so personally, I guess, like,
but personal about your
technique wise.
Yes,
that it's an attack on your technique.
Yes, and to take it personal on that could fall into down the route of not being good enough, or just.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's the last thing that I'm trying to do. Because at this point, obviously, we're
past that. Like, I'm liking what you're doing, but also falls in line with, if I'm not doing something that you like, or if I'm doing something that you don't like, saying it, asking for it. It's the same kind of love when your friend has something stuck in their teeth, or their breath stinks, or like
there's a fucking booger, there's bird poop in their hair.
Like, let a bitch know.
Yeah, like, just fucking say it. My reaction, sure, is going to be upset because it's fucking happening to me.
Yes.
Not because of you. Also, if I was just with 20 other people and nobody told me, I'm going to be fucking mad, because then why didn't any of them tell me, thank you, sorry I'm being a bitch, like.
But like, you didn't tell me you're fired, like the outfit. Like, if you don't tell me, like, don't let me out here in these streets like this. Don't let me in the bedroom, like, carry on thinking I'm the shit when I'm not.
Oh my God, yeah, yes.
Don't.
Like, I think that is where it is the most personal, because it's like, this is.
Oh, I take it personal. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
you me?
I do. I am a performer. Like heart, soul, all of me, even in the bedroom. Like, a bitch likes to perform. Like, I like to.
But it's like an experience.
Yes.
So like, if
the performance is an experience to me. Yes.
I need to know the performance is off. If we're not on pitch, not in tone, whatever.
I need those directorial
if
notes,
the rhythm
please.
is off, it affects a lot of things.
Direct me to how to make
also,
this better.
Also, sometimes it's nice being told what to do. I don't know.
Yes. Please tell me.
Okay, so I guess that was my take on supporting your partner, asking for support. Do you have anything that you would like to add?
Because, like, again, like some of these, y'all, you know, we go all over the place, pushing all the buttons. So
all right, we wrap that. Please leave your comments, thoughts, feelings, opinions, examples of communicating with your partner, with a friendship, how you've been communicated with, maybe in a good way, bad way, ugly way.
And now we gonna push. Wait, we pushed to start it already. We're up replay.
We're gonna pushing replay on.
We're gonna press replay.
One of our previous button of the week videos. This one is when your partner can't get it up, what can you do? So
that leads into leads beautifully from asking for support and stuff. Kind of.
This was really unintended, but I feel like it flows
works
well together.
It's perfect.
Okay. So I'm starting at the bottom. We have a ton of comments on this video, which is awesome. Thank you, everybody, for commenting.
Y'all.
From our good friend Easels.
Let us know if we said that right, or even, anyway.
Yeah, if we're mispronouncing, call us out.
We have said this before. Your comments are always lit.
Yes, we love
the discussions that we get into. They're also so fucking funny. Like some of them. Anyway.
So watch the video. I'm not gonna recap, but essentially we just go into like when your partner can't get it. Your
performance anxiety
partner
is a thing.
Performance anxiety and how it's happened to us. In relationships and how we've handled it. Okay, so Easels, fair and valid points. It could be the male problem only. I think something that we discussed was that we take it personally sometimes.
Yes. In terms of taking it personally, like that there's something might be wrong with us, but also like not being able to not get it up. But there is a female problem of performance anxiety. Like sometimes, we need a little extra lube, and that is okay anyway. But we are talking about the penile right here.
So he went full circle of like fair and valid. It could be the male's problem. Then another comment is, in fairness, it could be the woman's fault if she is limited sexually. Sometimes quote unquote boring routine isn't enough. And
facts.
Agreed. Like sometimes you do need to switch it up for everyone's pleasure. Him, her, theirs, like everyone's pleasure. Because you can fall into like, here's our favorite 3 positions.
Yes.
We know how much time it takes.
And
we know how to hit the right spots. And which is nothing wrong with that. It's good to have a routine.
But variety
also helps because
yes,
it helps.
But also with that, leading to what we were just motherfucking talking about, like you have to there's a certain level of also needing to ask for that. If you need something more than I am not doing, and you need to get a little freakier, and we need to do some crazy shit, maybe we need to get out of the bedroom and come downstairs into the kitchen. You need to let a bitch know, or like just, or even on the reverse of that, noticing that this is something that's happening, like bringing it up and communicating. Okay, well, this doesn't seem to be working. What can I do? What do you need?
Yeah, we referenced videos to show, and so he also went into put in the adult tape. Simon Says as kind of that was his solution because we talked about asking, and he was like, "Yeah, what are you into?"
Simon
Love that question.
Says,
it's a really important thing to ask, I think, with a partner is like, what do you want? I mean, going back to our previous conversation, but and that's, I think, a lot of people need to think about that more. Like, what do you want for your partner? And then, like, how to receive that. Like, watching porn together. What are we doing? Do we mimic? Is this just because this is...
It's on in the sound in the background.
Like, I need it. Like, yeah, there's layers of, like, how porn can be involved in that. And so he made some really good points here. Another user... Andrea, who is
female perspective,
sharing a
love
female
this.
perspective. But
love
yeah,
this.
I think when I was younger, I used to think it was a me issue more, but half the time we were on drugs, so that didn't help. Same sometimes. I feel like when it comes to intimacy, communication is key. Sometimes taking a break and circling back has worked. And reminding my partner it's not a race, it's a marathon. That, I think, was a great statement because I am more of a race than a marathon type of sometimes person. And my partner is very much into marathons. And so, yeah, that being able to know what your partner's into and
adjust accordingly.
Adjusting accordingly
hair in the face
is good, but I think it's good to, like, I love the comments on this video for like getting into what they're getting into, and I just think that more people need to have this dialogue. I guess I feel like sometimes like I repeat myself because
also no one is a mind reader. I understand there's an energy in the air, and yes, there's a vibration, and like you can pick up on that to a certain degree. And sometimes, yes, it feels like your partner and who you're with is a fucking mind reader, and you're like, oh, sometimes it hits it, but again, no. Some like hit, miss, trial, error. We are not mind readers. Like asking for what you want, asking what you need, but also being able to do the reverse for people where that's hard for them. Sometimes me, it is so needed, and it makes it easier. It feels uncomfortable in the moment and awkward, and it's like
yeah.
But then you settle into that shit. It's
the wiggles.
Yeah,
Wigglies. I guess I don't want to trademark it.
And what I have found, the more you do it and you put, put yourself in uncomfortable positions, like communication wise, but also yes, the more you do it, the easier it becomes to slip out of it feeling uncomfortable. God damn it! Like.
Yes.
The words work both ways, and it's so great, and I'm a child. So
one more comment from Matthew Perkins. It has happened to me once. I think it was a combination of undue pressure myself, but mostly I was truly surprised that I was in the bed with this queen.
Oh!
Okay? We didn't talk about it until years later, and that, I think,
I love that.
I have definitely been in having sex with someone, and they like started to kind of, you can feel it, that they're like, oh, they're assigning the numbers. They're like, oh, I'm a 4 and you're a 6, or I'm a 10 and you're a whatever. Like those types of things that you're like, literally, this was a choice. Like, can you just accept this? And
I fucking chose you, or they chose you. Like it goes both ways, and be like, yo, stand in that shit.
There for sure are people who are like out there having sex for the wrong reasons and are taking advantage of people. And I think we've all probably been in an intimate moment with someone that like, oh yeah, they were using us. And if that does not feel great, yes. But like also, don't be in your head about that. I know that's easier said than done. As a woman, yes, I get that. But like, yeah, it's easy, I think, on the other body can tell. The other body can tell that you're kind of
shrinking in more ways than one.
Yeah.
And getting it, and it makes it hard to get back out of. I mean, and yes, the conversation can be had and should be had if possible. But sitting in, and sometimes you, like, the more you think about it, like, get out of your head, you stay in your head. So thinking about something else, like, and maybe it's not even sexually related, but it'll help you get back into the moment in terms of like what you're doing and getting present, or switch over to the other person, switch it up and be like, yo, okay, well, clearly this isn't working right now. Like,
I mean,
take the focus off is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, taking the focus off. I mean, there are a lot of things that happen to my body that I'm like, okay, we gotta reroute. What do you have going on here? You know, like let's. It's your turn. It's your turn.
Yes, I'm gonna turn you over and your turn.
Like, and we need a break.
I need a second. Yes.
And it's easy to do with some people, and it's less easy, obviously, to do with others. But like, both partners like can pick up on like a lot of things. Like, just talk about it, say something. It might be uncomfortable in the moment, but like it's a laughable moment.
It can be.
When we talk about this as the button of the week, I will have a great example of shit going south, but like being able to laugh it off and coming to the other side, on the other side, into it.
Oh, the double entendres, y'all.
But like,
they make me so happy.
Again, thank you everyone for commenting and interjecting on this video, because like that's something that happens so often, but like it is this like taboo or like it's made a joke, and like I mean sometimes it can be like funny, haha, but like a lot of times it's not, and we have to
figure it out and deal with it together.
Yeah, it's normal. Like,
because everybody, we all want to come, y'all. Or even just be in the
we
moment
wanna
and
have a good
enjoy.
time.
Yes,
Even
because it's not.
it's not always about coming.
Thank you. It's not always about having an orgasm, because yes, it is a marathon. It is not always a race. Sometimes quickies, like quick races, are great.
We love a sprint.
Hello, but it is the experience. It is
just feeling good. Literally, it's about feeling good. I guess for me.
Same, and making someone else feel good feels so good. So
feel good time.
Yes,
party, whatever.
Y'all, these comments were lit. There were so many more that we didn't get to.
Check out the video, leave a comment also.
All of those things. Thank you so much for your buttons, babes, and we will catch you next time. Bye.